I think I started this in 2015, and I think this demo was playable in 2015. And it's rough, and it's short, because it's just a prototype. But a lot of people who have played it have enjoyed it. So we start out getting rebooted. You play as a robot who was in a war hundreds of thousands of years before this game takes place, and someone just rebooted him and revived him. So you start out in this like screen where you see, you got your chassis online, you're booting up, so you're seeing your limbs connected, you're seeing your locomotion capable, but then your head module at the bottom there, module not found. And this is a pretty rough way of, not only a rough way of showing this story, but also people who played it were not sure if the game was running right, because this is the first thing they saw, and they were like, uh-oh, I think there's an error with your game. And I'm like, it's not an error, that's the way it's supposed to play. So I'll present it differently in the real game. So we enter Sonar mode. In Sonar, you just use B to sonar, and you get these little sonar waves. And otherwise you're almost blind. You see very little hints of what's around you. And your goal basically during this section is to find a head to replace yours so that you can see. So we see something around here. There's it. There's the head. Then we get our nice little head animation. He puts the head on. Head connected. Visual hardware activated. We enter the world as we can see it. And you can see there's another dead body that's just like us down there. Some flowers, some trees. A lot of people really liked the look of this, and I do too. I think it's a cool look. So I'm going back to explore. This is kind of where we were running blind earlier. Just a little area. Not much to it at all. And a lot of people who played this said, oh man, you gotta give us more of that blind mode. Like, people were really into it. So I think in the final game, there's gonna be sections where you do more blind mode stuff. And I'll find ways of explaining that, but I'm actually pretty happy with all of the visual things I was able to achieve in this little demo in such a short amount of time. Like, we got light shafts, and we've got trees that are kind of blowing in the wind, but kind of stuttering like a stop motion or like a lower frame rate. We've got little dust motes in the air. We've got little birds that fly away when you get too close. There's a lot going on. The grass is a parallax offset map, so it's basically just one big plane with a height map that tells it to have little straws basically sticking up. And we can even get buried in it a little bit. It's up to our knees here. I thought that was a pretty cool thing, but ultimately I don't know if it's the way I want to go for the final graphics. I still want it to look like this, but I don't know if it's worth the limitations that it gives me. Even though it looks cool, I like the look of it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I've been kind of walking around and wandering while I talk, and there's not a whole lot of places you can go in this demo. There's a cliff where I think if you fall off this cliff, you just die and have to start over. Let's see. Or nothing. You died. Yeah, okay, so you start over. There's not like in the real game, the fall penalty is not really going to be anything. It'll just put you back up where you were, and it remembers your most recent on the ground location. But in this demo, if you ever die, you have to start completely over, which is not a huge deal because there's not a whole lot of hours of time you can lose. You could pretty much do the whole demo in like 5 minutes if you know what you're doing. But down here, I started playing with it a little bit earlier. We've got this physics box puzzle, which is kind of dumb. I don't really want physics to be part of the game the way this is, because it's unwieldy, and it's, I think on some people's computers the box is actually clipped through the floor. So I don't want to play with powers that are beyond my ability to completely control them as the author of the game. Maybe in a future game I will incorporate physics a little more, but the object of this puzzle was just to be able to reach the top of that rock on the left, and the way to do it is to line these boxes up as little islands to jump across. And then we get the ion cell, which is not what it's going to be called in the final game, but it gives us this little blaster. Oh, game had a little bit of trouble there. So now we can shoot. And these look really glowy and really powerful, and I kind of took some of that away in the more recent versions of the prototypes. I might bring it back because it looks cool. I like the look of it. A little bit of screen shake when we shoot. This like trail of square loops, I really like. It's kind of Jetsons-y, but I like it. So as soon as we get that upgrade, enemies spawn, and they don't mess around. But we can shoot them. I can easily kill them all. They ragdoll when they die, which is fun. Pretty simple stuff. But there's a lot of stuff from this demo that I'm trying to maintain when I'm working on the full version of this game now. I took a few years of not working on it to do other things. I was in a full-time position last year, which took up way too much time for me to do stuff like this, but this year I want to actually get this full game done. I'm hoping to. I need to set deadlines for myself and stick to them, but I think it's worth making this game. I think people will like it, and I'm hoping people will see it. That's the real problem these days, is like getting people's eyes on it in the first place. When people see it, I have confidence they'll like it. So we're getting down to like half health here. But I think I've taken care of all of the enemies. You don't have to kill them all. I did this little kind of anime waterfall, which looks fun. I mean, it works for what it is, and water hurts as well. So you jump over the water. And then we've got this little gate here, which is basically the end. You can't open the gate unless you've got the laser power. So that's what we use the laser power to hit the beacons, and we can go through the gate. And that's it. That's the end. It implores us to try the wave-based game, which is worse. But I'll show it to you anyway. The wave game is kind of a last-minute thing. I'm surprised I was able to add so many things to this. The wave-based game is here, and the grass, for some reason the grass shader isn't working in the wave-based game. And a lot of textures are missing. Look, the bushes are not even textured. But we've got waves of bad guys. I think there's 3 bad guys to start. 1. And sometimes their targets go away, and sometimes they don't. Sorry. And they don't go away between waves, which would be a nice backup. Like, if they happen to not go away as soon as they die, maybe they go away. Maybe there's a thing between the waves that's like, okay, refresh, clear all the beacons before we move on and add new bad guys. But see, that guy's thing went away, and now we go to next wave in 10 seconds. So it basically goes on like this until you die. It's just a way to kind of give people, when I say people, I mean friends of mine that I let try this. It's basically a way to give them a chance to practice shooting and just kind of have fun with the bad guys without having to do the whole upgrade puzzle every time they wanted to do it. Where are the bad guys? Where are they going off to? You'll notice that the projectiles can hit each other in midair and stop each other, which was not on purpose. It was a collision oversight of mine, but it actually is kind of cool, and I might try to incorporate that somehow in the final game. I don't know if I want this weapon to do it, but I might want a weapon to do it. I enjoy, it's not perfect, but I enjoy the pixel art that I did for these textures. It's definitely going in the right direction. I think that the pixel density on this character, on the Ruinbot character, is what I want to go for. These pixels on the rocks are not dense enough for what I want. But we'll get there. We'll make it happen. By this time next year, I want the game either to be done, or I want to only be doing art. Like, I want to have the functionality of the game complete and just be doing the art that needs to go in from that point on. And I feel like I'm there. It's going to be a Metroidvania, and I've completed the functionality pretty much of every upgrade that you're going to get throughout the game. So now I just need to make all of the enemies, which is simpler and tougher than it sounds, because I'm just not that good at thinking of, like, what should this enemy do that's unique and what feels unique for an enemy. But I'm gonna die pretty soon. My character's health is getting lower. But I have confidence if I keep to this. Now, we are almost halfway through the year already. I guess we're still about a third of the way through the year. I don't know. See, I've never made a game before this. This is my first game, and I'm being way too ambitious with it, but it's what I want to do. And it's exciting to me, so I know I can do it. I just need to set deadlines and stick to those deadlines, and if I fail to stick to those deadlines, I need to figure out what I did wrong and do it better. And it sounds really simple when you say it like that. Where's the bad guy? This is the part that sucks, because all of the targets didn't go away, so one of these bad guys is real. Have I been up here? There he is. I kind of wanted to feel arcadey, and I kind of wanted to feel like a bullet hell a little bit. There's a roll dodge in the newer version of the game, not in this version. There's a lot of stuff that's not in this version, but it's a good baseline at least to show you what kind of game this is, you know. How it feels just to play it. So, I guess I didn't go over how the controls work. Main thumbstick moves. Right thumbstick aims. I guess that might be apparent from how it's going. Right bumper is our laser. In the newer version of the game, you'll be able to map your different weapons to right bumper, right trigger, and left bumper. I survived 4 waves. This guy's going crazy. He still thinks I'm alive. I think he killed his friend. I think a big contributing factor to the flavor of this game, this prototype in particular, is the music that happens when you put your head on. It's a song by my friend Chris Clark. He made it for another game project that we never ended up finishing, but I used it in this, and I still want to use it in the final because it just establishes this moment so well. Listen to this. It's just full of wonder, I feel like. The song makes you want to explore. And that's what this part of the game should feel like. If you watched this whole video, thank you. Thanks for seeing this. Thanks for showing it to people because it looks cool. I really, really, really want to finish this game. And I would love to share the progress of it and share, stuff about it. I don't really know what people want to see about it, so it would be helpful if there's something about this game and the progress of making it that you want to see. Comment that, because it helps me to know what to include, but for now I'm gonna keep working on the newer version of this game. There's a lot of progress that has been made since this point that I'll show you, but there's a lot of progress I still need to make that game finished. So we'll get there. Die! Die, me!